But anyway, let's move straight to our final conversation. The cry says, rocking the Labour Party is far from over, as the gladiators have switched to a tit-for-tat mode. After the faction led by Julius Abure announced the indefinite suspension of 6 chieftains of the party, including Abia State Governor Alex Otti and Senators Nwakocha and Ireti Kingibe, among others, those suspended are not taking it lying down. Governor Otti has fired back, rejecting the suspension and declaring that Abure lacks the legal authority to act as the national chairman of the party. The governor is calling on the Inspector General of Police to arrest Abure for impersonation and urging the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to enforce the Supreme Court's ruling, uphold the judicial integrity and safeguard democracy. Yes, Governor Otti is calling for the arrest of Julius Abure for alleged impersonation. Now, Biko, judging by the Supreme Court ruling, is Julius Abure an impersonator?
He's not the chairman of the party anymore. It's as simple as that. You know, I've said, look, when a judgment is handed down, let's wait for the
CTC.
Certified true copy, because it will break it down. Until some people saw the certified true copy, they didn't know that the Supreme Court had taken a firm stance on the illegality of having 3 individuals run a House of Assembly.
Exactly.
They were moving from TV station to TV station, you know, showing their absolute ignorance of the law. And some of them, okay, it's not even ignorance of the law. It's a deliberate desire to turn the law upside down. Because you can't say that they don't know the law.
Exactly.
You know, so at the end of the day, it was in that CTC that the matter had been decided. And the Supreme Court referred to the first court, the court of first instance. Justice Omotosho ruled on that matter. The Rivers, let's leave Rivers out of it. The CTC showed clearly that Abure was no longer the chairman. The INEC had also said the same thing. That, look, your term has expired. But Abure continues to hang on. Abure continues to hang on. And some of the things happening to him today, we had discussed and predicted that, look, he's going to be abandoned. The mainstream of Labour Party had moved on, set up a caretaker committee. Nenadi Usman. You know, they don't want to have anything to do with him. Now you can see the moment he was called to account, he too fired at them by suspending people like Ireti Kingibe, the governor, Darlington Okocha, Victor Ogene, former editor of The Source. Remember him? You know, Amobi Ogan, Sheyi Showumi. That was the governor's way of retaliating. I mean, that was Abure's way of retaliating the decision to invite him to come and respond to allegations of misconduct, misappropriation, and all that. Those allegations had been there. In fact, there was a case instituted against him where he was accused of forging forging certificates of return and all that for certificate of return, expression of interest forms and all that for people. That was before the election. That matter had been there. But the kind of words used to describe Abure and others was just terrible. In the statement issued by the governor's spokesman, he said, this is a joke taken too far and an affront on democracy. He called them a group of inconsequential irritants with self-serving economic agenda. He called them clowns in search of a clown. I wonder whether this is actually not plagiarism.
Okay.
Because I've had this before. I don't think he authored.
Okay, someone had used them.
I don't think he authored it.
Okay.
But I don't know. Labour Party is in crisis. What this suggests is that the kind of impact they made that last time, they cannot make that impact anymore. And I believe that they didn't move quickly to address. Obi was vacillating. Obi should have taken a stand against Abure before this thing expanded. But he was trying to stay in the middle, put one leg here, put the other leg, was just trying. When it now became clear, especially after Labour, that is NLC, moved against Abure and his people, and even picketed the headquarters. It was at that point he now began to take his time. No, a leader should not do that. It was clear that Abure, people were not willing to support Abure anymore, especially given the fact that he was put on trial for fraud and all that. It was at that point that Peter Obi should have taken a stand. But he was trying to see, maybe this guy will survive, maybe. And at the end of the day, what does he have on his hands?
Absolutely.
A fragmented Labour Party. The other day, even their men in Enugu State House of Assembly, they moved into PDP. That's what we are seeing.
Okay. And now, Paul Dada, Nenadi Usman is calling on INEC to step in and resolve this. But on the INEC website, we still have the name of Julius Abure. And in brackets, court order. I mean, what is really going on?
You know, before we started, I was looking at the website and I showed you that the name of the chairman, Julius Abure,
in bracket,
by court order. Then I think the secretary too, by court order. And I'm wondering what is happening.
Which court order?
I actually wonder which court order, because the Supreme Court said that the Court of Appeal, the lower court, should not have recognized. Should not have recognized. Now, a lot of people have subjected it to the interpretations they want to give to it. But it seems clear to me that what the Supreme Court meant was that, look, it's over for you, Julius Abure. No, it's very, very unfortunate. I don't know. See, INEC, and if you also understand, initially, INEC did not recognize the convention.
Yes.
Until
they did not even attend it.
They did not attend it. I don't know why INEC would
what changed?
Of course, there was a court order. There was an earlier court order recognizing Abure. But with what the Supreme Court has done now, the Supreme Court has invalidated all of those decisions taken by the lower courts. I think effectively, it means that Abure should no longer parade himself.
Was the Supreme Court really not clear enough?
Well, well, you know, again, maybe the Supreme Court can also learn to be clearer, you know, when they give judgments like this, because we've seen people again and again giving their own interpretation. Maybe that's what I think. I think they can approach the Supreme Court for clarity. You know, for clarity. However, let me say this: it's very painful.
I don't think they can approach the court just like that.
Maybe INEC. You think INEC cannot approach?
No, the thing is, if the Supreme Court has given its verdict, it is not for the Supreme Court to implement its directive, its order. So
absolutely, I agree.
This, when people make up their mind, okay, let me give the example of Abga. The matter of Abga national chairman was also contentious like this, but because it's not a popular party anymore, you know, despite it's one of the oldest parties in Nigeria, people didn't really pay attention. There was a big contest for the thing. Court rules. INEC was slow in implementing, and two persons were parading themselves as national chairman.
Yeah, I remember.
You remember?
Yes.
Today, Sly is the
authentic.
Yes, is the authentic chairman. And the other person has even stopped. I don't know those who appeal to him. He has given up his agitation for
the chairman.
Yes, he has given up. So Sly is now effectively in charge as national chairman of Abga.
Yes.
my hunch is that we'll get to that with Labour Party. By the time we get closer and closer to the election, it will be clear to people the mainstream Labour. Okay. And that is the one that INEC will deal with. Okay. They can be throwing their weight around at this point, but I know that we get to a point that INEC will deal with
the mainstream.
Yes, and INEC will not accept people who emerge from the primaries
from other factions
of the faction that it does not recognize.
I mean, because we're yet to hear from the Lamidi Papa faction.
No.
Well, the NLC faction are not. But in your opinion, do you think the situation in Labour Party is ending anytime soon?
No, I do not think the Lamidi Papa faction is actually consequential.
But, really?
No, yeah. But I want to just
it too has been.
He has been doing this. That it's not be today now. Exactly. It's not in this dispensation. He has been doing that, and
it doesn't belong to the mainstream.
Immediately after the Supreme Court judgment, he came up again and said, "Yeah, that means I am the."
Yeah, absolutely.
See, one way or the other, I think the Labour Party will resolve the matter. But the thing is, it might be late. You know why I'm saying this? Because for the first time in Labour Party's history,
that is what
it has made the kind of success.
That's what Senator Impersonation said.
Okay. The kind of
that people are leaving the party for them.
Absolutely. That's what.
Now that Impersonation, Neda Impersonation from Edo State, we eventually joined APC.
Before this time, before this dispensation, did you hear that Labour Party had representatives in the National Assembly? Absolutely. Apart from one time, maybe Mimiko was governor Labour because he decamped. Now. You are
mismanaged.
You are suspending the only governor you have. You are suspending a senator.
Does it even make sense?
How many senators do you have?
I don't understand. But they also forgot that the obedient movement gave Labour Party life. And the obedient,
they are in the majority.
And they are not with you. They are not with Abure.
But anyway, it's a fine place for us to leave this conversation, gentlemen. BKO. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us. Dada, appreciate you. Thank you so much. And also to the men and women in the back room, thank you so much for pressing the buttons, so that we have a beautiful show. And that's all on Journalist Hangout today. You can watch the repeat broadcast of this episode tonight at 11. Join us on Sunday from 1:30 to 3:30 p.m. for Journalist Hangout on Sunday. We are on YouTube at youtube.com/TVC News Nigeria. I am Benga. Bye for now, and God bless Nigeria.